Hello, everyone. A very good evening, and I welcome you all to our next session, which is Get to Know Impetus. And for that, we have with us Mr. Samir Bhide, who is currently the Director of Technology at Impetus. And the best thing to know about that is that Mr. Samir is an alumni of SDSITS Indore itself, which is our college. So we are very honored, Mr. Samir, to have you here with us today. And I thank you for joining.
Thank you. Excited to be here as well, Momo. Great work. Uh, Again, my name is Samir. I work as a director of technology at Impetus, and I'm part of the engineering and product leadership in Impetus. And I'm thrilled to see the participation from young engineers, and I can't wait to see the submissions. I'm also equally excited to be introducing Impetus to you all today. And I had a few slides that I'd want to share with you all. So let me. Right. Thank you. Uh, before giving you a corporate brief or anything, let me talk about why we exist. So, in short, and we try to be as clear about this as possible. So, we stand for enabling a unified, clear, and present view of your business. And the operating words here are unified, clear, and present. Unified means uniform access to the data that drive your business. As data driven organizations rely on the data being unified, the access to it being uniform across all divisions, across all the consumers of the data. This is what unified means to us. Clear means unambiguous. All stakeholders and consumers understand the semantics of what the data represents. Present, data, if you talk about data currency, especially transactional data, it doesn't age well, and having real time and near real time access to your data is critical. So these are the three operating words, and our products and services are centered around that. And we bring a lot of value to our esteemed customers using this philosophy of ours. So who are we really? Impetus essentially is a group of companies. We have Impetus Technologies, we have Kairos, we have ClearTrail, and then we have Intellicus. Impetus is recognized in the big data services and product space. We've been around for a while. We've been active since 1996, and till date we have contributed and created more than 300 plus use cases of mission critical business use cases for our very large enterprise customers. And in the process, in our journey of existence, we have also created a lot of IPs, and we spawned off companies out of that. And the two current products under Impetus umbrella are Gather, erstwhile Stream Analytics, and Leap Logic. Gather is essentially a low code platform for ETL and data analytics. Leap Logic is something very popular. It's a data warehouse modernization solution. And we see a lot of impetus in general for movement to the cloud or movement to a modern architecture, and that's where Leap Logic comes in. I highly recommend, and I request you to visit the gather.one and leaplogic.io websites for more information. uh, we have Kairos. Kairos is an interactive BI for the big data technologies, specifically data lying in Hadoop or on the cloud, whether in S3 or Google Compute or Azure storage as well. We founded the Kairos in 2014 to enable really really fast queries. Think of uh, sub-second latencies on terabytes of data, or up to even petabytes of data. So this is what Kairos' niche is. They have unlimited scale. They work at unlimited scale. uh, ClearTrail is again a unique. It presents a unique solution. ClearTrail is focused on again real-time data analytics using variety of machine learning techniques, as well as analytics on internet and voice data traffic as well. It operates at country level. Imagine analyzing data coming from GBPS switches. That is what they're into. and they have a very niche area. They're leveraged by law enforcement and intelligence agencies around the world. Intellicus also has been around for a while. It's a white labeled BI and enterprise reporting tool. Together, we have around 50,000 Intellicus customers, and we've been very successful in helping our customers making sense of their data and presenting the BI reports that are needed for stakeholders and consumers. We are globally based. We exist in the West Coast. Our headquarters are in Los Gatos, California. It's in the Silicon Valley. Uh, we have offices in Vancouver, and then again some presence in Phoenix, US as well. In India, we have we are present in the NCR region. We have offices in Bengaluru and also in the NCR region. Apart from the other work from home or permanent work from home cities like Pune, Ahmedabad, Bhubaneswar, Hyderabad, those sort of cities. Uh, Asia Pacific is also a growing area for us. So we also have a side office in Sydney, Australia. Just to give you a snapshot of the overview, we've been incorporated in the US in '96. We have a very we are a growing organization. We have consistent year growth of over 25%. We remain self-funded. Uh, we have remained self-funded in the last 25 years or so, and that allows us to focus on things that we think add value to our customers, that we believe in, and back products that we believe in, and that is very critical to our existence. Uh, Thus far, we have 20% of Fortune 100 companies are our customers, and that number grows with the new kind of offerings that we provide to our customers. Uh, Headquartered in Silicon Valley, that allows us to be in contact with the right sort of people, have attract the right talent, be on the forefront of innovation using our presence in the Silicon Valley. Uh, we have more than 2,000 employees globally, out of which we are so heavily invested in R&D that we have around 100 distinguished engineers in our labs, Impetus labs, and they're doing R&D on very niche areas like advanced machine learning, federated data engines and things like that. I'll talk about that in a bit as well. uh, we are particularly proud of how the world perceives us, our work on ourselves and the kind of culture that we've built. We have been, India's 100 best companies to work for more than 7 years now. I want to talk about what we offer and how we have built this organization over the course of years. Is we have till date now we have 11 what we call as practice groups or centers of excellence, and these bring in unique specialities to our offerings to the customers. They also these centers of excellence kind of also work together and leverage each other's exposure in terms of a problem domain that maybe one area sees, the other area kind of benefits from that. So we have cloud engineering where we solve critical problems on data engineering, data analytics using the cloud services. Like we use a lot of services from Amazon, Google, Microsoft, and hybrid cloud as well. And we have card uh, very good partnerships with these big cloud vendors, and we work with them so that our customers can move to modern infrastructures, can solve problems that they have not been able to solve earlier, using our expertise and using the backbone of the cloud technologies that these vendors provide. Like suppose you want to move your large scale data warehouse from that you build over a course of, let's say, 30 years into the cloud. With our experience and expertise, and because we know the data engineering space very well, we are able to do it very quickly with the high performance that is expected out of cloud and with the velocity that the customers expect. Uh, We have a big data engineering group as well that focuses on large data analysis and working on large data sets using a variety of technologies. Like, if you might have been familiar with a lot of open source technologies today, like Spark, Beam, Hadoop. Those are the kind of platforms that this engineering group uses and leverages. We have been looking at Hadoop and other related big data technologies even before these got widespread acceptance in the enterprise world. So we have been in this game for quite a long time, and we have built our IPs around it so that we can offer more value to our customers. Another very interesting focus group inside Impetus is the machine learning and AI division, which is our data science group. Now, these are PhDs and well-known researchers who work on solving very critical problems in the ML and AI space. So think about let's say passenger safety in a moving train, or let's say if you have oil field designs that have dated from more than 100 years, and you got to create the most recent version of that um, using computer vision, those kind of things, and with the kind of accuracy that is expected out of a good engineering design. So we those are the kind of use cases that our machine learning team specializes in. They work with our customers and uh, work on very critical areas like internet fraud detection or internet transaction fraud detection and prevention. So those are the kind of things that the ML and data science practice does. uh, One area, which is DevOps, it's kind of cross-cutting across different areas of expertise. uh, Given that we understand the data engineering space and how production systems work, we have a niche data or other DevOps practice which is focused on large scale automation, large scale management and automation of customer deployments and engineering solution deployments. And they invest a lot in not just the best practices and the software and solutions, but also invest in bringing in conversational AI into DevOps as well. So they have we've built good IPs around that as well. And our systems are pretty big. The kind of customers that we serve, think of a very large server farm, potentially thousands of cores of machines working at a time, and a very high nine available system where we need to have the kind of automation in place to make it work 24/7 or as near 24/7 as possible. So this is what the DevOps team does. They are highly specialized engineers working on cloud solutions, on-premise solutions, and advanced automation. Enterprise Solutions is a group that focuses largely on large scale enterprise systems. Even some of it is outside the domain of big data engineering or cloud engineering. But to put things in perspective, right? Think of let's say wireless number portability solutions that are now available in India, where you can port from one system to another, or could be some other mission critical system like calling 911 and making sure that they know where you're located and they can reach you. So those are the kind of systems that our engineers build under enterprise solutions. And these are high nine, like 5969 available systems. DNS is one such example. Those are kind of things or that our enterprise solution engineers work on. uh, Enterprise mobility again is a very unique offering. It's also it's also something that combines back end data engineering and enterprise solutions, and makes all of these systems available on smaller handheld or sort of small screen devices. And our enterprise mobility team works on very interesting areas that enable some of the largest businesses in the world. Think of large credit card companies, the some of the biggest airlines in the world, where you could interact with their systems using a mobile device. And given the evolving technology, the kind of security that is required, and the kind of performance that is expected out of mobile devices for customers who are always on the go, enterprise mobility fits in very well. So we have engineers and architects as part of this service that work on these kind of areas. Uh, UX and design is something which is relatively new, something that we all as part of the entire engineering team, we leverage our expertise in UX and design internally as well as externally to our exposure to our customers as well. Uh, these people are responsible, and their group is responsible for producing amazing user experience design to our customers. We have people who went and graduated from design schools who understand the user's perspective. They live in the customer's world. They understand how the customers are going to expect a user interface to work, and then they work with our implementation teams to create that sort of UI and user experience for our customers. uh, Very involved process. It's a very interesting area of work, and something that we have put this to work for some of the largest organizations in the world who typically are still evolving when it comes to user experience and design. But this is something that we offer to our customers. It's very well received. Another upcoming group within the centers of excellence that we have is business intelligence. Now you could do all the data engineering that you require, and you can put in all the machine learning and DevOps automation in place until you bridge the last loop of getting the right kind of intelligence out to our customers via report automation, via the right kind of KPI metrics exposed to our customers. It will not result in the kind of impact to business as your customers would expect. And this is where business intelligence group comes in. They work a lot on reporting and work on other BI tools which are commonly available or widely used in the market. We also have our own IP when it comes to business intelligence, and a lot of it is fed by our products that I'm going to talk about next. Uh, Product engineering is something that we are really really proud of, and uh, basically all the centers of excellence contribute towards product engineering in the sense that the biggest thing that is required in product engineering besides innovation is ability to cut down on the rework when your MVP goes to production. And this is where our expertise in things like enterprise solutions, UI, UX, DevOps, cloud engineering comes into picture. So we have, currently we have two products that are getting used across multiple Fortune 100 customers, Leap Logic and Gather. uh, these are built on top of open source technologies with a lot of research, and we've changed a lot of technologies to suit to our needs. And our product engineering teams are responsible for creating, maintaining, and putting the product in front of our customers and solving very very critical problems. Like think about going from, let's say, carrying over your petabyte level data warehouse into the cloud in a matter of weeks as opposed to years. That's a very big leap forward, potentially millions and millions of dollars of cost saving every year. Or think of ability to manage intelligently managing your price for your tickets for very large airlines, where people need, millions of tickets are sold in a very short span of time. Having the right kind of real time intelligence powered by products are critical to making those businesses work successfully. One thing that we invest in a lot is quality, and due to that we have our own testing practice. uh, the kind of areas that Impetus works in, whether it is mobility, UX, BI, or overall product engineering and data engineering, it requires a very keen focus on testing. Uh, you cannot be a conventional tester and find defects and issues in the kind of products and services that we build. It's about testing at scale, testing at speed, and being able to repeatedly test certain uh, new and upcoming scenarios every day. So we have a testing practice team which is focused on creating that niche for us internally, so that and in some cases to our customers as well, so that when they put in a highly advanced technological solution in production, they have uh, they know it is resting on the testing practice outcome, so that they know the quality of the product is good or the quality of the solution is good. So our testing practice actually works on both IP and services, and they create their own testing frameworks, they create their own resilience frameworks, and they create their own learning paths to make sure that any new and emerging testing frameworks and technologies, we absorb them, and then we, in some cases, we basically, add more value to existing frameworks to, put to use to these mission critical things. uh, RPA is all about reducing the costs of doing manual work. It's about doing things repeatedly that otherwise, you would have trouble doing if it was a person on the end of the terminal and doing it. So RPA is unique in the sense that, it's cloud friendly. We have our own IP in RPA that can do things like, let's say KYC automation, or taxation automation. Those kind of uh, use cases our RPA team does, and it's available in the cloud. It's going to be launched as a fully fledged solution as well very soon. And we heavily leverage things like computer vision, or uh, advanced machine learning techniques to to drive processes to make sense of any anomalies that we see in the data. This is what RPA is used for. So, given this kind of an exposure, these kind of different offerings, or how the organization, or rather the engineering within an organization is structured, and the way they communicate with each other, we're able to project a very unique business value using our solutions and offerings. And one of the most commonly recurring things for us is a lot of people are trying to get towards, or trying to implement on their own, or using partners, what they call as modern data platform. And given our positioning in terms of services, exposure, creation of products that deal specifically with data engineering and cloud movement, we're able to give a completely new uh, offering in the form of a modern data platform, where we deal with transformation and modernization of the infrastructure, meaning you can go from expensive um, expensive millions of dollars kind of hardware to uh, you know pay as you go, uh, container based orchestrated platforms that can reduce the cost of hardware, as well as you can bring in software services like modern data warehouse transformation, which can lift and shift your logic from a legacy system, and automatically using language processing can translate your code into a target system, which can understand the new hardware, which can understand the new software, and can make it run faster than what was possible earlier. So transformation, modernization, same thing goes with integrating different sources, bringing in the right kind of transformation logic, using a low code no code platform like Streamatics or Gather, and combining it with the BI that comes out of Kairos and Intellicus, completes the end-to-end data modernization picture for us. And on top of that, we have something which we call as Jambune, which is a management and profiling product that basically does predictive maintenance, or rather it can prescribe whether your solution is going to work correctly or not, even before you put it in production. So you can save a lot of money, you can save a lot of engineering cycles, which are equally costly when doing very large scale migrations using our products and services. All of this We make all of this work together on the modern cloud platform, using one, or even in certain cases more than one cloud vendor, like Amazon, Azure, and Google Cloud. Sometimes it's a mix of public and private compute in a hybrid fashion. Sometimes it's a mix of two cloud vendors, which is very much possible. So we bring in this unique, or rather we are able to create this unique vision of a modern data platform using our solutions and services and our expertise. So what's it like? What's it like being at Impetus? What do people at Impetus really do on a day-to-day basis? Uh, one, you always kind of indirectly or directly contribute towards a differentiating work culture. When we say differentiating work culture, we have a culture of innovation. We have a culture of knowledge. We think our success, both past and future success, will depend on how well we maintain and add to this culture of knowledge, or culture of rewarding good work, culture of innovation, and we are fully committed to it. So that this is our core philosophy, and within that framework of maintaining and creating a new culture of innovation and adding to the culture of knowledge, our engineers at work, uh, creating very large scale things like analytics on petabyte level data, which brings in multiple distributed data processing technologies, which brings in advanced and intelligent storage systems that can reorganize the data based on how it is accessed and the patterns in which it is accessed. We also build 10x real-time solutions which are operating at scale, meaning something that you would take about a year to develop. Our solutions help you get to that future state in a matter of maybe weeks and days. This is what we are into. We create self-healing systems. We can predictively we can predict whether a workload will succeed or not even before it is submitted to a system. Looking at the indicators that we get out of a already running system, we can predict whether your hardware is going to be sufficient or not. Is your cost going to balloon over a period of time? Will it get will it decrease using certain changes that we suggest? Those sort of things we are building. We do something we're heavily invested in is platform modernization and large scale cloud adoption. Cloud is the future. It's not like few years out. It's already a reality today, and we see a lot of very very large organizations who are not very agile and nimble, trying to adopt cloud, and we have seen organizations struggle with that, and that is where we come in and help them move quickly to the cloud with the right side of processes in place, with the right side of security and technological adoption that is required across engineering teams to make a modern data platform a reality. So this is what we create. uh, Again, this why do we do it in the way we do it, and what is it that makes us different? The biggest I should say the biggest thing that make us different is we have a product mindset. It doesn't matter whether we are consulting for a customer, or we are building an IP, or we're even doing a small scale, we're cooking something up in a very small team. uh, our engineering mindset is very much product inclined. We focus on IP. So we focus on things that are immediately relevant, things that will make the solution stand apart. And then we back it up with a very strong philosophy of engineering excellence, which reduces our time from going from a minimal viable product to a full scale uh, million user product, or a solution. We automate and innovate. Easier said than done. uh, it takes a lot of initial uh, hard work and absolute you know the discipline that it takes to automate something, and not having to repeat what you could otherwise have automated. That is something that is in our DNA. Any product engineer or anybody who's working as a services engineer has this kind of mindset, and we make sure that we have the right uh, programs and the mentors in place to inculcate that. We have our own architecture board. These are people who have seen product development, seen very very large enterprises at work. They understand, this group understands uh, the pros and cons of making every single decision that you would otherwise, sometimes people are not aware of that. So that's where the architecture board comes in. You have to get their buy-in, and you have to make sure that the best design principles are applied. We are obsessed with saving that microsecond level, microsecond latency. We, if something works and is functionally working, we make sure that, can it work with 10x the kind of load that it is working? Can we save that 1 or 10 millisecond of execution that is, that is impacting the user experience? So we are obsessed with customer success using the right non-functional, or solving the right non-functional requirements. We understand that, when you go invest a lot and make something work for 1,000 customers, your next target is going to be a million customers, not just 10,000 customers. So we understand and build and deliver on non-functional aspects right from day one, and that is something that we built into the products as well. We have we focus a lot on, like I said, we have a knowledge, we have a culture of knowledge. We have various different development programs that are aimed at understanding a technology, getting to know a technology, like starting the implementation on a particular technology or a solution, and then have expertise, road to expertise on a particular technology, where you can not just use open source effectively, but also change it if required, and change it, to solve a very critical problem for your customers. So we have different learning and development tracks, which are, centered around, let's say, enablement programs help you learn a technology. Engine excellence makes you deliver as part of a team, where different people can focus on different aspects of engineering. Like project management could be one, performance engineering could be another. So those are kind of things that happen in a use case given in engineering excellence. We focus a lot on leadership development. We have various programs where you could see yourselves grow from, let's say, an intern to a vice president, and we have actual instances to back that up. So we focus a lot on leadership development, and our culture of, being very open in terms of communication also helps in that regard. uh, Embedded certifications are not easy. They are aimed at, giving you that last push to clear a hurdle and get Impetus certified. uh, Very valued within the organization and even outside as well. One thing that our architecture group does is it keeps a tab on, what's going to happen in the next 5 years in the industry. We try to look ahead and see what is it that we can invest in today on the technology front, that can give us very good dividends, that can solve critical problems that we see developing on some of the large customers that we serve. What is that area of technology that is, uh, just come up, and can be a big game changer in the next 5 years? So we do that. And these are some of the things that we are heavily invested in. We have the R&D group working on that. We have product teams who are dedicated on creating an IP on that. So one of them is federated data platforms, and within that federated data platforms, cloud-based data federation platforms, where you have, uh, data is spread across different systems, and how do we make sure that the compute and the storage work together to give you the right result, as well as give you the result in the most cost optimized way. So that is what we're working on. We are working on, things like query rewriting, systems that can help you distribute your workloads across different areas based on data locality. We use a lot of open source, but we also change a lot of open source in that regard. uh, I mentioned about this earlier as well. Conversational ops uh, are the next level is the next level to creating the intelligent DevOps, where we have bot-based environment management and automation, and couple that with our foray into MLOps, where we just don't do data engineering, but we are able to manage and create advanced data analytics as well. Uh, this is something that we're working on, and we're trying to present a very simple interface to the consumers of ML ops or AI ops. Platform modernization is very easy to sell in the sense that you're offering potential millions of dollars of cost saving. If you think about it theoretically, it's a no-brainer. Anybody would want to do platform modernization, but we understand what it takes and the pitfalls of doing that. We also know why organizations fail in their journey towards a platform, a modern platform, whether on the cloud or even on-prem. So we can relate to it. We have seen things working and not working, and we understand what needs to be done to make it happen. So we have IPs around platform modernization where you it's you can automatically convert one kind of solution into another kind that works seamlessly on the cloud, seamlessly across technologies without having to write any line of code. Speaking of not having to write any line of code, we have Gather and Streamatics, which is our low code, no code applications. The world is moving towards uh, code generation. The world is moving towards where consumers are going to be your application developers. They will not be writing the kind of application code that today engineers write. So the next thing that is that is going to be very interesting to watch is these low code, no code applications and platforms that can literally help you create an advanced AI, machine learning, and data transformation application with data ingestion all in all as you can do all of that as simple as drawing something on your canvas. So that is what we have been largely successful at it as well. Today we you know we manage hundreds of thousands of events per second on a platform which was not written using which did not require any line of code written by any developer. We have our own low code platform that where you could literally like draw as if you're writing a story, and it will create a created application for you. All of this is in service of creating products that we could apply as a turnkey solution to our customers problem domain. So this is what we focused on in a nutshell. AI enabled applications, it's also cross cutting. We are heavily leveraging the power of AI in our DevOps automation and IPs. We're leveraging AI in our platform modernization, where we are able to translate code written in one language into another. We are also leveraging making AI simple to use using our low code, no code applications as well. This is just a snapshot of the kind of customers that we serve. Rather names, I would request that we look at the domains that they're in. You'd see telecom, you'll see insurance, finance, core technology companies, and these are not just these are some of the largest organizations in the world. These companies form the backbone of financial infrastructure of the world. These are companies that are the backbone of telecom infrastructure in the world, or the energy backbone of the world. A lot of big names, lot of even uh, uh, government organizations as well. Uh, this will give you a good some idea as to the kind of customers and the size of customers that we cater to. Um, I want to quickly talk about our people first culture. This is something that, in order to build a long lasting culture, in order to bring a progressive culture of knowledge, a progressive culture of innovation, where you're known by the value that you provide, not by the designation you hold, or rather your designation is a very good indicator of the kind of value that you offer. So we have a people first culture. We are a company that relies heavily on open communication. We are a company that takes a lot of feedback. We act on the feedback that we get. uh, we value our human capital a lot, and we invest a lot in our people. In that regard, we're proud of our accomplishments in that field. We've been regularly awarded, and we're proud of those accomplishments. Like working mother and best companies, one of the best companies for women in India. We have our own group called the Sheroes, that amalgamation of she and heroes. These are women in technology who drive our businesses by interacting with or solving one of some of the most critical problems in the world in the technology domain. They are our inspiration as well as our thought leaders in their own areas of expertise. We also get a lot of recognitions from the industry, all big names, Gartner, Forrester, Dana Nami, Aragon. We feature in their strong performance leaders kind of a list in our own area of expertise, specifically in the analytics, streaming analytics space. Uh, I want to end this presentation. This is what I had in terms of giving you a snapshot of what we do, what is it like being at Impetus, what do we work on, the kind of problems that we have solved for our customers, the kind of value that we have generated internally as well as an organization. So this is all I had. This is all I wanted to cover in terms of introducing Impetus to you guys. Uh, Mamal, I think you're on mute.
Sorry. So thank you, sir. I was just saying that it was a very insightful session. I mean, I did have a few queries about Impetus in terms of what it is, what it does, and what exactly is the future going to be looking like for Impetus. And I guess all of that was covered in your session very elaborately. And I would say that looking at your presentation, everybody in the audience did get an idea of what a giant Impetus is in terms of the offerings that we are getting from Impetus, and working with such huge organizations in terms of customer services, providing million services for millions of customers, and also providing mobility agility to other organizations. In fact, working for re-engineering models which have been designed hundreds of years ago. So I guess it's all a very cutting edge technology that is driving the tech industry today. And one curiosity that did arise in my mind was that about all the uh, huge, massive frameworks that Impetus is currently working upon, it does require knowledge about all the technologies, all the cutting edge tech and skills. So, how would you describe the growth of an individual who joins Impetus as a beginner? I mean, you did talk about the innovative culture and the culture of knowledge in Impetus. So, how would you describe the growth of someone who would like to pursue a career at Impetus from the beginning? What do you look for in a candidate in the beginning?
So there's two parts to this. So what do we look for, and how do you progress from starting as an intern to all the way up to, let's say, a VP position? So I'm gonna try and answer in two parts. What do we look for? We look for uh, very strong fundamentals in your engineering discipline, engineering or science discipline. What that means is, think of your basic or core tenets in your computer engineering study. For example, if you've interacted with a database, or if you've created sequels, you got to know the internal basics of how things work. If you choose a data structure over another in solving a problem, you got to know why you chose a data structure as opposed to some other data structure. And that is very critical to us because, as I mentioned, we focus a lot on non-functional aspects of our solutions, and one of them is obviously performance. And it is very critical to know what works best given a condition, and how does it scale well. And this is something that we are taught right from the college days, and we look at people who can apply that theoretical knowledge and translate it into software. So that is very key for us, and we don't care so much about the amount of things that but those limited things or those finite things that you may know, you got to know them very well. And that is what we look for. We look for fundamental. Uh, we look for very strong fundamentals, and that is why we strive on engineering excellence, right? So that is what we look for. Technology we can teach. The right mindset is something that you bring to the table, and we kind of build on that. So this is what we look for in terms of how do you grow, and how do you learn that those many technologies, and uh, it's not about knowing, or rather it's not about learning technologies. We focus a lot on issue based learning, uh, in addition to the kind of programs that we have that enable you to learn. We also have a very strong mentor structure where you come in as a fresh graduate. You might not know, for example, Apache Flink or Apache Spark, which is an advanced distributed computing framework. You will end up working with somebody who's an expert, who will ask you all the right questions that you'll try and get answers to. uh, and that is what we focus on. We do a lot of issue based learning. We give you use cases to solve, and a mentor who will ask you the right questions so that you go and look for answers yourself. So we focus a lot on self learning, and we back it up by a very well organized content. Learning at Impetus is like going through a university. You have the right mentors, you have the right people you can talk to. You have an enormous source of knowledge in terms of people and the kind of frameworks that we built. Even reading those frameworks lets you learn a lot of new things.
So
So
I
that
think that's a great journey that anybody could take to progress in their career. And now, in the interest of time, I'm going to quickly take a few questions from the chat that we have. So, first one would be this: that as a college student, how should one choose a niche to pursue?
uh, so niche is you know I think a short answer to that would be, what is your interest? As if you're interested in building, um, let's say, if you're interested in AI, anything could be a niche as long as you stay focused. You excel in what you do, and you have a unique attention to detail that is required to pursue that technology arm. For example, there's no one thing better than the other. If you talk about niche, it could be, let's say, AI. If you want to understand AI and ML, you start with good understanding of the mathematics behind machine learning. Then you go to frameworks. Then you look at real world problems. Then you experiment, and then you get better at your trade. That's a general practice. Whether you want to learn data science or you want to build good user interface and user experience. So it's not about choosing a niche to follow. I think you got to first come up with what you identify with as an individual in terms of your interest areas.
Right. So, I guess he did get the desired answer. So, the next question would be: it's an interesting question. What is the biggest reason you think Impetus is what it is today?
Uh, I would say there's more than one, but our biggest see, growth is a derivative of how we think as an organization, and our organization is focused on uh, adding value to our customers. We would not go after growth by diminishing or diluting our focus on what we bring to the table as part of technology partners. And I think that is our biggest reason for the kind of growth that we have seen, for the quality of growth that we've seen. So growth is not just about numbers; it's also about the quality. If I offer interesting, unique work to the engineers that work with me, that's an impetus to their growth. And I think that is the biggest reason, being obsessed or being focused with the technological advantage and putting our customers first is what makes us what we are.
Okay, so I guess the last question that we can take is it has been asked twice. What do you look for in R&D candidates? How is it different from developers?
Um, Everybody's a developer in the sense that even I would take up something which qualifies as development. But let me try and answer that in two ways. So what do we look for? So there's a baseline that everybody has to adhere to. So you got to have good credentials in terms of academics. You got to have uh, very good hold on technology and things that you know, good fundamentals. All of that is foundational. Whether it's an R&D candidate or you want to work as a product developer or a services engineer, so that is foundational. Beyond that, for R&D, it's a mix of two things. One, uh, some people have an inclination to doing research as opposed to um, customer focused work. That is one. So your inclination is also key. If you're interested in R&D, you got to be ready with ready to create things that do not exist. And some people are generally better at that than others. Some people are better at applying technology. Some people are good at creating technology. So we look for a mix of those two. As an R&D engineer, you would want to be working. You should be open to learning new things. You should be open to creating new technologies. That is foundational to that is foundational to what we look for in an R&D candidate. Second is we look for people who have some experience in what our R&D interests are aligned with. Meaning, if you're working on conversational AI, or we're working on cognitive AI, we would want to have people who have some background in that. So those are the two factors: interest and alignment.
All right, so I guess that answered the questions of Vibhor. So now I would like to wrap up this session with you, sir. Thank you so much for taking out your precious time and coming and enlightening us with what Impetus is and how exactly it is engineering excellence. So I sincerely thank you on behalf of the complete team of Computer Club, and we hope to come up to your expectations in terms of making this event seem bigger and bright and also producing effective results.
Thank you.
Thank
Thank you,
you.
my pleasure.